Okay, morning class again, and again welcome to the School of NBS in NSSP. Today we will discuss about, we all know, Second World War, the Second World War happens in Kohima, right, 1944. After that, we all know, India is going to get independent. So yesterday I discussed about how the Nagas have come from China, Southeast Asia, settled down in own place. After that, we were once captured by the Ahoms, and lastly by the British. And lastly now, India is going to get independent. Right. So now, today, I'm going to discuss about the Naga polity, and for that, we'll go to the 19th century ones. Okay, 19th century, the modern India, the modern Nagaland, modern, 19th century 18. Now we will discuss about this. What is all about this one? It is all about political awakening. Okay, political awakening, which means the consciousness. The consciousness. The most important things which has developed among the Nagas is the political consciousness and awakening developed among the Nagas in the 19th century. This is the most important development which is taking place among the Nagas in the 19th century. Political consciousness awakening. Now the Nagas also came together that we should be united, right? We the Nagas should be united. For that reason, we'll go back to the history once. We will once go back to the history once. We will go back to the history once. It is like this. 1914, the First World War began, right? The First World War began in the year 1914, and it came to an end in the year 1918. So what happened is that, we all know by this, the Nagas were under the rule of the British. We all know, Nagas were under the rule of the British. For that reason, what has happened is that we supported the British. So the Nagas decided that we will volunteer in this war. So 2,000 Nagas, in the name of the Naga Labor Corps, went to a country known as France. Too important, okay? It was the France where we went, 1918. Please write down. The Nagas in general participated in the First World War as a labor corps. Okay, Naga Labor Corps in the year 1918. 2,000 Nagas were sent to France. 2,000 Nagas were sent to France as a Naga Labor Corps. And remember, among the 2,000 Naga Labor Corps, it was the Simas who sent the highest. This right now. Simas the highest, Lota the second, Ao the third. Okay, first, second, third. Among the 2,000 Naga Labor Corps, who sent the highest? It was the Simas. And the second is the Lotas, third is the Aos. 2,000 Nagas. And what has happened after that? Now, for the first time, we have seen the outside world. For the first time, the Nagas have seen the outside world. Since we participated in the First World War, we have seen the outside world for the first time. For that reason, when they come back, they form the Naga Club in the year 1918. It has two headquarters, Kohima and Wokcho. Okay. That will never be asked, remember. The Naga Club was formed in the year 1918. After this, people remember from the First World War. Naga Club is the first Naga political group which was formed. Okay, Naga Club in the year 1918. Anyone can be a member. Hambura, Subashi, you may be village elders, right? Educated, uneducated. Anyone can be a member of the Naga Club. And Naga Club was to have a political representation towards the British. We should be politically united. Yes, we are under the rule of the British. And the Nagas also knows that British can leave anytime. See, British can leave anytime. So we should be united. We should be united. For that reason, the Naga Club was formed. For that reason, the Naga Club was formed. So with all this, now this is the first political representation of the Nagas, and this happens in the 19th century, in the early beginning of the 19th century. Okay, so Naga Club was formed by those people who are the Nagas who participated in the First World War in the France. After they returned back, it was formed. On top of that, anyone. You may be a teacher, you may be a Kampura Tobashi, you can be a member of the Naga Club. And Naga Club wants to solve the Naga problem. Anywhere. It may be a social problem, political problem, social financial problem. Let's discuss here. Okay, it's a political platform. Just like Nagahoho. Yes, now we have the Nagahoho or NSF, ENBO. Like this, it was formed in the year 1918. So please write the date, 1918. The Naga Club was formed in the year 1918 as the first Naga political group. So now, that is all about the First World War, and we supported the British. Okay, in the First World War, it was the Nagas who supported the British. So we went to which country? France. After their return, we have formed the Naga Club. We have formed the Naga Club. Now let's go back here once. The Second World War is going to happen yet. The Second World War happened in the year 1939 and it ended only in the year 1945. The Second World War began in the year 1939 and ended only in the year 1945. So what happened? We all know it was the Nagas who supported the British. Yesterday we have discussed that, right? The Battle of Kohima. So see, Nagaland is just a district. Nagaland as of now is just a district under the Assam government. So see, what happened is that it was the Nagas who gave the full support to the British in the Second World War. The British were very much happy. The British were very much happy, or else they should have lost the war. But finally they have won the war because it was the Nagas who have defended these people. So now what has happened is that it was just Baose. See, it was just Baose who was the deputy commissioner of the Naga Hills district when the Second World War happened in Kohima. Too important. And he was the last deputy commissioner. Just Baose was the last deputy commissioner of the Naga Hills district. And he's the man who formed the Naga Hills District Tribal Council. It was him who formed the Naga Hills District Tribal Council. Okay, Naga Hills District Tribal Council was formed by this man. Who has formed this? Just Baose. Naga Hills District Tribal Council. Naga Hills District Tribal Council was formed in the year 1945 by who? Just Baose. Naga Hills District Tribal Council was formed by just Baose. For what reason? For what reason? It was the Nagas who helped the British. For that reason, he was very much happy. So, to unite the Nagas, to solve the Naga issues, might be social issue, economic issue, political issue, you unite together. So, we have formed the Naga Hills District Tribal Council in the year 1945 for the Nagas. And remember, Kohima Hospital was also established by the British because of this reason. It was the Nagas who helped the British in the Second World War. For that reason, Kohima Hospital is also established by the British. Okay, they were very much happy for that. That was the reason. That was the reason. So, see, it was the British. The Naga Hills District Tribal Council was formed in 1945 by Charles Baose, who was the Deputy Commissioner of the Naga Hills District. And for that reason, in the year 1946, the name has been changed into NNC. In a place called Sanis in present-day Oka district. In present-day Oka district. Okay, the name was changed. Naga Hills District Tribal Council changed its name into NNC, Naga National Council, in the year 1946 in Oka. In a place called Sanis. Sanis will be a subdivision in the Naga Club changed its name to NNC. No, that is wrong. It was not the NNC. Sorry, it was not the Naga Club. It was the Naga Hills District Travel Council, which changed its name to the NNC in the year 1946. Okay, so this are the details. This is a minor portion, but this is the basic thing. Our exam is going to go November 22. Okay. Now, NSSP has been preponed, right? You have seen our NSSP has been preponed to 15, and the boss has also increased. So it's a platform for you, the best platform for you. Anyone can do it. Okay, this is the best time. We will all try our best. All right. So in every point, you should be strong in C. Most of the 75 the questions, most of the 75 GK general knowledge questions will be hard. Okay, it will be like this: Nagaland, polity, and history, which we have done, right? Ancient, medieval, and modern. So we are very lucky. And from Monday, we will have the online class. All right. Well, from Monday, it will be geography and science. As I said, our top number 1, Sir Imu, is coming. Okay, so please, you stay at home. Okay, and this for this 3 weeks, you stop every Saturday. It will be just like an exam. So this is how we will try your best to hit this. Some of you will break this time. Some of you will break this time. So this will be the best opportunity. And very much, see, those people are under 25, like you only. Right. So most of you are going to get a job now. NSSP is coming up, November 15th. And if you are able to break, another NSSP will come in the month of March to April. One more will come. So now, if you are really searching for a job, this is for you. Okay, this is really for you. So now, 1946, the NNC, and we all know it was on 15 August 1947, India got independent, right? On 15th August 1947, it was the British who has given independence to the Indians. So now, something is going to happen. Something is going to happen now. Something is going to happen now. And remember, you all know, in the year 1957, a commission on us, the Simon Commission, was appointed. So that Simon Commission, on 10 January 1929, the Simon Commissions on 10 January 1929, Simon Commission also visited the Naga Hills District. Okay. On 10 January 1929, Simon Commission also visited the Naga Hills District. So see, it was the Nagas. It was the Nagas who said that since we are not Indians, right? Since we are free Nagas, we are not Indians. We are different people. You should never be included in the Simon Commission reforms. We all know Simon Commission came to India for what reason? To give some constitutional reforms to the Indians. We are demanding independence. By 1927, the freedom movement is going on in India, all over India under Mahatma Gandhi. We all know the freedom movement in India is going on under the leadership of Mahatma Gandhi. So the British also feels like we cannot rule India by force. We cannot rule India by force. Something has to be given to the Indians. For that reason, Simon Commission came to India. So it also visited the Naga Hills. So we have just asked the Simon Commissions, never include us in these reforms. Okay, never include us in these reforms since we are not Indians. So that's the reason Government of the India Act 1935 declares Naga Hills as excluded areas. Please write down. This is too important. For that reason, an act was passed. Government of the India Act 1935, which declared Naga Hills as excluded areas. Excluded areas. That means we are going to be treated very differently. That's the reason we are going to be treated as very differently. So remember, from the MBC point of view, this is going to be X. Okay, this is going to be X. This is very much going to be X. And remember, now slowly, we are going to become more conscious about our political rights. Political rights. So now what is going to happen? India got independent, and it was the NNC, Naga National Council, which decided that now something is going to take place. For that reason, see, India got independent. And remember, the worst thing about the British is that the first thing what the British has done to the Nagas is that they have divided the Nagas. Okay, now I'm going to discuss a little bit about. We will begin the topic like this. The first subdivision for the Nagas was established in Aslo in the year 1850. Okay, Aslo is a small subdivision in the Naga district of Assam. Okay, Aslo is the first subdivision which was created for the Nagas. Aslo, 1852. 1852. Aslo, okay. Aslo. Now, under the Nagaland districts of Nagaland. Under the Nagaland district of Assam. Okay, Aslo is the first division. For the first time, Nagaland was given the full district. Okay, Naga Hills district, which was created in the year 1866. 66. And remember, the first British headquarters is Sanghaputing, which was created in the year 1866. 1875. They have transferred to Oka, and in the year 1876, they have shifted to Kohima till 1947. Okay, this is often asked in BSc. It was the headquarters of the British was Sanghaputing, initial 1866. After that, they have transferred to Oka in the year 1875 because of the reason they have killed John Butler. The British officer, John Butler, was killed. Captain John Butler was killed by the British, by the local Nagas, local people. Okay, for that reason, to take the revenge, they have shifted headquarters again. They have shifted their headquarters in the year 1875 to Oka. And finally, on 14 November 1878, 1878, I'm so sorry, it's 1878, okay, it's 1878. In the year 1878, they have shifted their permanent headquarters to Kohima. And till 1947. Till 1947. So that's all. That is all about shifting to Kohima. So that is the basic introduction now. So now say, now MBC will confuse you. There are two things you have to remember. There are two types of Nagas. Naga Hills District and Tuensang Fonder division. These are known as the free Nagas. These were never captured by the British. Okay, so you live your why should you be under yes, why should I capture your dense forest? Never captured. Free Nagas. So these are the only administered to Ibon, Naga Hills district. So here comes Central Nagas, South Nagas, East Nagas, right? See, just like the Dimapur, Kohima, Oka, Mokokchung, Zenikodo, these were all under the rule of the British. But not the Eastern Nagas. Eastern Nagas were never captured. So these two will combine together and will take the state. Okay. At the end of the day, all of these are demanding independence. All the Nagas now. Alright. All the Nagas now. So these are all, actually we're all Nagas, but this is the division, the British have done. These are known as Naga Hills district, the control area. The control area. (1947). It is like this. India got independent on 15 August 1947. NNC is there now. The NNC also declared independent on 14 August. We the Nagas have declared independence on 14 August 1947. This might be us. On 14 August 1947, the NNC, the Naga National Council, has declared independent. So now, see what is going to happen is that the worst thing the British have done is that the Britishers were very much silent on the Naga independence. They never grant independent or deny independent. Very much silent, right? That's the worst thing. After they went back. So now we have a greater brother. Yes, we have Indians. We have the greater brother Indians now. So what the Indians has give us is that the Indians has called up the NNC to New Delhi. New Delhi. So for 3 days they have a continuous deliberation. The British neither granted us independent nor denied independent. So see, now they went back. So now Indians, we have a greater brother. So the greater brother has called up the Nagas. The NNC went there for 3 days. They have a discussion. 26, 27, 28 June 1947. This is going to come, okay? For time being, the government of India, the Jawaharlal Nehru, the first Prime Minister, they have given us, let's sign an agreement known as the 9-point agreement. The first Indo-Naga political agreement is known as the 9-point agreement, which was signed in the year 1947. For 3 days they have a deliberate discussion, and this discussion happened for 3 days. And this agreement is for 10 years. Please write down. This agreement is for 10 years. See, this agreement is for 10 years. The 9-point agreement is for 10 years between the government of India and the NNC. So let's see what is there inside the 9-point agreement. But before that, I'm going to give you something. When India got independent, the British has given us one opportunity. When you take the Copland blood, this was asked in BC Mains. Okay, this is a very important one. When the British were about to leave Nagas, they have given a Copland blood. And what is Copland blood? to live as a colony, still under the British Queen. Even though it's a far off land, yes, the Nagas were given the Copland land. That means we all know America today, United States of America is made up of 13 colonies, right? So like that, as a colony, a big colony, right? The Nagas inhabited areas is a too big one, but they were given, the Nagas were given this opportunity. Okay, then if you don't want to live under the Indians, will you live as under the Copland land, which means to live as a colony, still under the rule of the British. But we denied. Okay, we denied. We completely denied this. So this is often asked in BC. What was the offer of the British to live as a colony under the Copland land? Rejected. We rejected. And one more offer was Nagas were given to live as a tribal district under the rule of the Assam without the interference of the Assam government, to be under the rule of the governor. Okay, but we rejected. Under the 6 schedules, we were given to live as a district without the interference of the chief minister, to live under the control of the governor of Assam. But we also rejected. So both of them were rejected. Both of these were rejected. And for timing, the 9-point agreement was signed. So see, actually before I give you the notes, remember the main agenda of the Indians was slowly to take the land. Okay, it was a bad policy, but unfortunately we have signed a 9-point agreement, and it will be the first Indo-Naga political agreement, which was signed in year 1947 in the city of New Delhi. So let's see what is there inside the 9-point agreement. Autonomy means freedom. Okay, autonomy means freedom. The Nagas under the NNC was given the autonomy to look after their own needs. Social, economic, political, cultural, religious. No interference. The Nagas, the NNC was given the full power to look after the Nagas in all this area. Social, economic, political, cultural, religious affairs. No interference. Even though we are just a district under the Assam, no interference. Okay, I will discuss all this in detail. Please write down. The Nagas were given the freedom, autonomy. The NNC was given the power to look after the Nagas in all these affairs. Social, economic, political, cultural, religious affairs without any interference, without any interference from the government of Assam. Government of Assam. So now let's see. Let's see what are some of the. Let's see where some of the powers were given. It is like this. Civil and criminal cases. The NNC was given the absolute power to settle the civil and criminal cases according to the Naga customary law. If a case occurred among the Nagas, okay, we have so many Naga tribes. So see, if any cases happen in Naga Hills district, that cases will be settled according to the Naga customary law. That means the village council, the Gambura, the Upashis will settle the cases according to the Naga customary law. When I say civil cases, you can take the example of land issue, property issue, right? Family issue. Criminal cases, it might be a murder case, it might be a rape case. So see, it's a criminal cases. According to the Naga customary law, it is going to be settled. But one more. If it's a death sentence, if your customary court gives you a death sentence, in exceptional cases, they can give you a death sentence. Might be a murder case, rape case. Your customary court, district court, the Tobashi court can give you a death sentence. In that case, that order has to be executed only after confirmation from the governor of Assam. Too important. In case of a death sentence, in case of a death sentence, where you're going to be hanged, right? In case of a death sentence, where you're going to be hanged, in that case, you have to make an appeal to the governor of Assam. Before executions, the customary court should consult the governor of Assam because it's a very serious issue. Any cases will be settled according to the Naga customary law. No interference, but except if the death sentence has been granted, has been given. In that case, that order will be executed only after consultation with the governor of Assam. In death cases, that is only. Or else you can settle your customary law according to your own customary law. No interference. It may be civil criminal cases, you settle according to the Naga customary law. No interference. Okay, no interference. And NNC was given the absolute power. The NNC was given the absolute power. Civil and criminal cases. Now comes. That is among the Nagas. These cases will be settled only according to the Naga customary law. Among the Nagas. But if a case occurs between the Nagas and the non-Nagas, this might be absent in BC. If a case occurs between Nagas and non-Nagas, because we have neighbors, we have Manipur, we have Arunachal, we have Assam. So who will settle the cases? Suppose you have a case with Manipur. Take the example, you have a land issue with the Manipur people. In that case, who will settle the cases? In that case, the case can be settled in any cases, in any place. It may be in Manipur, it may be in Nagaland, it may be in Manipur. But in that case, the Nagas will be given the absolute power to hire a Naga assessor. According to his own wishes. And Naga assessor means a person who is expert in the field of law. Naga assessor means a person who is expert in the field of law. You will be allowed to hire a lawyer according to your own wishes. You can take the case here. Right? Possible. But in that case, you'll be given a chance to hire a lawyer according to your own wishes. And Naga assessor. So that is the case between the Nagas and the non-Nagas. But if it is among the Nagas, it has to be settled according to the Naga customary law. So this is the thing in the 9-point agreement. 9-point agreement. It is like this. Another one more. We all know the Parliament of India will pass the law, right? Even the Assam Assembly will pass the law. Legislature, anytime. This law will never have enforced in Naga Hills without the consultation, without the agreement of the NNC. Another absolute power. No law passed by the Parliament or state legislature of Assam will have enforced in Naga Hills district without the consent, without the agreement of the NNC, Naga National Council. Absolute power again. Naga National Council. No law passed by the Parliament or state legislature in Naga Hills district. No law passed by the parliament and Assam legislature will have enforced until unless it is agreed or said yes by the NSC. So another no difference, right? Another no difference here. No one is about to do different. Same thing. I'm just repeating once more. Okay. Social religious affairs. We all know the Indians. There were about so many laws that is concerned with the religious law and all, right? And we're Christians, so that law will never have enforced in Naga Hills. It may be a sati system, parda system, so many things. No, this will, the law which is meant for those people will never have enforced in Naga Hills district, which will affect the social and religious affairs of the Nagas in general. It may be a Hindu law, it may be a sati system, sati law. This will never have enforced in Naga Hills district because under the 9-point agreement it has been given special protection. Without the agreement of the NNC, it will never have enforced in Naga Hills district now. Education, Forest, Agriculture, Public Work Department. Education, Forest, Agriculture, Public Work Department. These are the 4 departments which was given the absolute freedom to the NNC to look after the Naga people. We all know agriculture. 95% of us, 1999, we are in the year 1947. We are all farmers, right? So the NSC was given the absolute freedom. Okay, you look after all these needs. Education, yes, NSC will look after the education of the Nagas. Forest, yes, we are fond of forest. Nagaland is a land of forest. You can make your own laws. Public Work Department, you go for constructing the road, right? So that is known as all the duties of the NNC. The NNC will look after all these needs. 4 fields: education, forest, agriculture, and public work department. These are the 4 areas where the NNC was given the absolute freedom to look after the Naga needs. So these are the 4 areas where they have worked for. Yes, you can remember so many things which has been done by the Naga National Council. One more thing, what you can expect from NPC is that till 1947 we are just a district, right? Naga Hills district. So in this case, there will be district officer. Okay, there will be district officer. There will be district officer. There will be district officer. So, district officers to look after all this area: forest, education, agriculture. Okay, so what I want to tell you is that the district officer were appointed at the wishes of the governor of Assam. Very important. The district officer to look after the Naga Hills district was appointed at the wishes of the governor of Assam. But again, we have subdivision. Naga Hills district is just one district, right? We have just one district, but we have subdivision. So in the subdivision, we will have subdivisional council with a full-time president. Too important. In the subdivision, we will have a subdivisional council. In the subdivision, we will have a subdivisional council. And here we will have a president. Here we will have a president, which is appointed in the wishes of the NNC. Subdivisional council will have a full-time executive president, which will be appointed in the wishes of the president. I'm so sorry. Subdivisional council will have an executive president, which is appointed by the NNC. In the subdivision, who will look after the subdivision? Subdivisional council, and it will consist of a person, which is appointed in the wishes of the NNC. And this subdivisional council, sometimes they're responsible to the governor, sometimes they're responsible to the NNC. Whatever the work might be. If the work is related to the governor, you will be responsible to the governor. If the work is related to the NNC, you will be responsible to the NNC. So in the subdivision, we have a subdivisional council to look after those people with a full-time executive president. That's all. So it's very easy. Okay, now I will discuss about a regulation known as the Arms Act. It is like this. We all know the Nagas are very fond of the gun, right? Everybody wants to have a gun, especially the boys among the Nagas. So armed license will be issued by the Deputy Commissioner on the advice of the NNC under the 9-point. The arms will issue the Deputy Commissioner on the advice of the Naga National Council. So anyone can have an arms, possible, but you can get that by Deputy Commissioner only on the advice of the NNC, only on the advice of the Naga National Council. And nextly, the last will be the Chin Hills. Chin Hills regulations, Bengal Eastern Frontier regulations. Chin Hills regulations and Bengal Eastern Frontier regulations. The Chin Hills regulations of 1896 and Bengal Eastern Frontier regulations of 1873. This will have enforced in Naga Hills district under the 9-point increment. So I'm going to explain all this now today. Alright, the Chin Hills regulations of 1896 and Bengal Eastern regulations Frontier regulations of 1873 will have enforced in Naga Hills district. So now I'm going to explain all this. The Chin Hills regulations of 1896. What is all about this? Chin Hills, if you see the dictionary in the Google, it will be a part of Myanmar today, okay? Burma. It's a part of Myanmar. So it is like this. We are bordering with this country, right? So it is like this. The Deputy Commissioner or SP of the Naga Hills district can arrest or chase out any stranger if it is found of person who is to commit a crime in Naga Hills district. The Chin Hills regulation of 1896 says that any stranger who is present in Naga Hills district can be chased out or arrested by the Deputy Commissioner or the SP anytime. So because no strangers could be allowed, he might commit a crime. So Chin Hills regulation of 1896 is going to be enforced in the Naga Hills district under the 9-point. Okay, what is this Chin Hills regulations? It says that the Deputy Commissioner of Naga Hills district or the SP can arrest any person who is a stranger. That's all. So Chin Hills regulation of 1896 will have been enforced in Naga Hills district. This can be asked for 2 marks. Very easy, right? It's in Burma today. It's a part of Burma today. Chin Hills. And lastly, Bengal Eastern Final Regulation is the inner line permit, which we all know, right? You cannot stay in Nagaland today without ILP. Yes or no? You can stay in Nagaland for how many days? 15 days, the outsiders. But remember, now I'm going to discuss something very important. The inner line permit which was issued in 1873 is different from the inner line permit which was issued today in Nagaland. Because when it was issued in the year 1873, it was for different. Please listen very carefully. We have Britishers, right? Britishers are businessmen. So, it is the official government Britishers who are doing business. There are also other Britishers. There are also other Britishers. Just like private men. If you are rich man, you can do business man. But the British will never allow that. The British government, they are have their own government doing business in India. So if they allow those other individuals, it will not give them profit. For that reason, to stop the other Britishers for doing business in Naga Hills district, inner line permit of 1873 was imposed. So the inner line permit, which was, the purpose is different. The rules is same, but the purpose is different now. Which is here now. Okay, well, what was the reason in 1873? For what reason? In the year 1873, what was the reason? To stop the other Britishers from doing business. Yes, that is the only thing. Any confusion? Any confusion? Yes? Any more you want me to explain? The inner line permit of 1873 is different. It's different from these days. So that is all about the 9-point agreement. And lastly, the Nagas, the NEC also decided all the land, Nagong and Sipsagar, right? In Assam, present day Sipsagar, Nagong, these are all Nagaland, present day Nagaland. Okay, but this land is in Assam now. Who has done this? The British. It was the British who have done this. Unfortunately, they don't have time to unite the Nagas. Remember, when the British established their role in Naga Hills, they have divided the land of the Nagas for administration. Just to control the Nagas, they have divided the land. So, remember, we come from China, Southeast Asia, we settle down together. But some of our land is in Assam, some is in Arunachal Pradesh, some is in Manipur, some is in Myanmar. Who has done this? It was done by the British. For what reason? Why have the British done this? For what reason the British have divided the land? For administration purpose. Just to control the divide and Nagas and rule, right? Divide and rule. So it was the British. So unfortunately, the worst thing the British have done is division of the Nagas. So today, we want to live as one Naga, but not possible, right? Because of this reason. It was the British who have divided the Nagas, all these areas. Or else we should have created Nagaland. Yes, you see the land is too much. In Nagaland, you will find only 17 tribes. But all of us, we are all together around 45 to 55 minimum. Our Naga tribes are 55. So it's a huge one. It is in terms of curve, right? In terms of curve. Now Nagaland will consist of approximately 20 lakhs people, right? But those, if we unite, it will be around in terms of a curve. So see, the land is big. So NBC is very much concerned about all this. The best thing the British have done in the Nagas is they have provided education. They have civilized the Nagas. Headhunting was stopped, slavery was stopped. Yes, all these were stopped by the British. The positive things. What are some of the positive things the British have done? Education, communication, road facilities. Right? Slavery was abolished, headhunting was abolished. But the worst thing they have done is they have divided the land, and they have no time. In the year 1947, they went back. No time to unite the Nagas. So this is the worst political problem in the world. The Naga political problem is the worst, the longest political problem in the world. Okay, so this is the issue we have done. So see, in the 9-point agreement, it also says that the land which has been transferred to Nakhon in Sabsagar, all this should be brought back. But unfortunately, it is not been done. You see, the NSC or the people of Nagas or the government of India are also not very sensitive, serious about this. The land is still there. So we have Rimas. You will find the Naga Rimas staying in the south. See, they are staying here. This 9-point agreement is for 10 years. This 9-point agreement is for 10 years. But see, but the NAC knows that. It's a trap. Okay, the NAC also knows that it's a trap because the government of India, the hidden agenda was to capture the land, right? Not to give them. We thought that we will get independent, but no. Unfortunately, after 10 years, Nagas will never be given independent. So what happened is that slowly now the NAC began to walk away from this 9-point agreement. So what happened is that on 16 May 1951, Naga plebiscite. The famous Naga plebiscite took place in Kohima, local ground. Okay, often asked, where this plebiscite happened? Kohima, local ground. Kohima, local ground. The famous Naga plebiscite took place on Kohima, local ground. On 16 May 1951, the famous Naga plebiscite happened at Kohima local ground. Under the leadership of Mr. Ezen Bizo. Under the leadership of Mr. Ezen Bizo, we held the first plebiscite. So what has taken place? What are the things we have happened here? See, the plebiscite happened in Kohima local ground under the leadership of Ezen Bizo, who is the president of the Naga National Council. So what happened is that, see, now we are in a very confusing mode, right? Either we merge with India or either we declare independent, form a new country. So, maturity of the Naga says that we will go for a new country. Instead of merging with India, we will fight for a sovereign country. For that reason, the famous plebiscite happened in Kohima local ground, and we fight for independence. Okay, for that reason, now see, it is like this. Now the Britishers has already left India. The newly born India, our great brother is never going to give that. So what happened is that on 18 October 1952, Zazebitu Naki. Kami Naga, right? Zazebitu Naki is kami Naga. Please, do not forget if I pronounce it. Zazebitu Naki. Okay. He is kami Naga. First Naga. Who is considered the first Naga political martyr? Okay. First Naga freedom fighter. He was shot in Kohima by the police. I have seen this in the newspaper today. The NSC is going to observe this day. 18 October 1952. The first Naga to be issued for independence is Mr. Zazebitu Naki, Naga Angami. And Naga Angami. October 1952. Zazebitu Naki. and he was shot dead at Kohima by the police. Okay, by the police. So now NNC, the Naga National Council, which was just a non-violent movement, now they are going to take a violent movement. Okay, before it was non-violent. Till now it is just a non-violent, but now it will become a violent movement now. Now it is like this. On 22nd March 1956, now the NSC decided that we will form our own government, known as the Federal Government of Naga. So FGN is often asked from the NSC point of view. The Naga National Council has formed the Federal Government of Nagaland on 22nd March 1956. In the year 1956, under the Bishop of Ezekiel. Now they have their own army, they have their own civil wing, they have their own military wing, they have their own intelligence wing. Okay, so now they have to declare their own government. The NSC, it was the NSC who formed the Federal Government of Nagaland. Too important. March 26, 1956. So now let's see some of the important things which has happened so far. 1952, 1957. India got independent in the year 1947. India went for the election for the first time in the year 1952. The first general election in India was in the year 1952. And second, 1957. These are the elections which was completely boycotted by the Nagas. The NSC under Bishop of Mizo boycotted the election. 1952 election, 1957 elections. Completely boycotted. The general election in India was completely boycotted. 1952 to 1957. So, what has happened? The first Prime Minister, Jawaharlal Nehru, right after he became the Prime Minister in the year 1952, on 30 March 1953, he visited the Nava Hills district. Since he also knows that Nagas are very much different, so let me visit. So on 30 March 1953, Jawaharlal Nehru also visited Naga Hills district. But unfortunately, we already have the plebiscite. Right? When he came on 1953, we have already held the plebiscite. So what has happened now? Now what has happened? He also invited the Prime Minister of Burma, the Prime Minister of Burma, which means Myanmar. Yes, UNO, the Prime Minister of Burma. Yes, UNO is the Prime Minister of Burma. He was also invited. So see, Jawaharlal Nehru has already declared to the world, even to the Nagas, we will never give you independence. Whether heaven falls or not, I will not give you independence. You are politically, economically not possible to form a new country. So he went back. It will be just a matter of time for me to send armed forces. Okay. So Jawaharlal Nehru has already said, and without, the worst thing what he has done again, without consulting the Nagas, he has given some land to Burma. You see? Without consulting the Nagas, the NNC, without even making a boundary, yes, without not even setting up a boundary, he has drawn an imaginary line. You take this much, I will take this much. So you just see the Nagaland today, our Nagaland. Just see the map of Nagas. Assam, Nagaland may be somewhat different, okay. See, just see, Arunachal Pradesh, and here comes the Myanmar, And here comes Manipur. Right. Nagaland is bordered in the south by Manipur, in the west by Assam, in the east by Myanmar, in the north by Arunachal Pradesh. Any confusion? So without consulting the Nagas, now again, he has just drawn an imaginary line without setting up even a boundary. You take this much, I will take this much. So now see, though there are almost approximately 28 Nagas who are living in Myanmar, our brothers. Yes, our brothers are living in Myanmar. Actually, we are one people, but now who has done this? Jawaharlal Nehru. First by the British have divided again. Jawaharlal Nehru, after he became the Prime Minister, by the Indians. So Nagas are divided first by the British, second by the Indians. And after that, divided both. Now, force. Everyone will use force now. Yes, Burma also, they will use force and subjugate the Nagas. India also will subjugate the Nagas. So this is the way, this is what we are in today's world. So, every year MBC will give you a question. Border injustice. Border injustice will refers to the state of Nagaland. Border injustice refers to the state of Nagaland. So you please write how the British have come to India. Sorry, and how the Nagas have come from China. And when we were living happily, it was the British who rolled over and divided. Then comes the Indians. Okay, who know this? Who know these issues? So border injustice is often asked in MBA. This is the border injustice. Please write all this. All right. Please all write all this, and you will get a good answer. Minimum marks will be 10, 20. Even might be an essay. English essay, it might be asked 50 marks, but 10, 15 is confirmed. So see all this. Okay, these are the things you should remember from the MBC point of view, because this is a very critical topic. When you are serving as an ESC, as a DSP, as an inspector, yes, in the border areas, every time you will have this problem. First posting is in the Mon district. If your first posting is in the Mon district, Noglak district, Chipri district, or Milluri district, you have to solve this problem. All this problem you have to solve. So it is not an easy, right? They are all Nagas, but now under the government of India, they will say it's a refugee. Yes or no? The government of India will consider these people as a refugee. See, it is like this. And without knowing the history, how can you solve this problem? So now, on moral ground, you have to erase something for these people as an officer. Alright. So, see, whatever is happening in the paper, it is true. ILP issue, border issue, yes. Drugs issue, taxations issue, all this, you're going to solve it. Now, Jawaharlal Nehru went back. And now what is going to happen is that the NNC and the Indian government, the government of India is going to have a war. Okay. And declared war is going to fight. Now the armed forces will come. They have come. Often asked in BC, where did the Indian army enter for the first time? From which area? From Tuensang area. Okay, Tuensang Frontier Division. This was asked. For the first time, the Indian army is entered the Naga Hills from which area? Tuensang Frontier Division, the Tuensang area. And a declared war was fought. Thousands of Nagas were killed, raped, tortured, rest. We all know it's 1,000 to 1. The Indians are 1,000, we are just 1. So, unfortunately, the NNC, which was just a non-violent, they have formed their own government, but now they have become underground. Okay, why they have become underground? One part, because of this reason. Because they were subjugated by Indians. So, now the Nagas were badly defeated by the Indians. For that reason, they went underground. And for that reason, now a group of people will come down. Now there should be some middlemen, right? They have formed their own government. They will never surrender. The NNC will never surrender. So what has happened is that during this time, see, our only thing was agriculture, right? Our forefathers work in the field. Our forefathers works in the field. So no other job, but all the granaries were burned down. The ladies were raped. Now we cannot have a normal life. So in this situation, a group of Nagas, well-wishers, have formed an organization known as the NBC, Naga People's Naga People's Convention. Okay, Naga People's Convention. August 1957 in Kohima. Very much important. During this time, during these years of bloodshed, misery, the Naga People Convention was formed in the city of Kohima in the month of August 1957 under the dynamic leadership of Dr. Nbong Liba. Okay, Dr. Nbong Liba. Dr. Nbong Liba. Okay, Dr. Nbong Liba. So we will take a short break, 10 minutes break. Okay, and we will discuss this. What is happened after this? It's 11:05 now. We will meet 11:15. Okay, I can welcome back to the school of NBC and SSP. I will distribute the mock test today, okay? So I will not I will not release the marks, okay? The name and all, so you just see your marks, okay? It's not compulsory to release, so please you just see your name and all, okay? When I'm explaining. It is like this. Somehow satisfied, okay? Most of you have got 30, 40, 60, 70. It's a good one because it was the first test, right? It was a good one. You're coming up. So yes, you try your best again. Okay. Those people who are scoring at least 60, 70, you have a chance. Even 50, or even 40. Because one more month. Yes, we have another 30 days. So who knows? You might be able to push up. Here also, if you can score at least 80, 90, who knows in the real exam? If you are lucky, you will cross 100, and that will let you to crack this exam. So yeah, you can do it. Possible, very much possible. The lowest was 1. Okay, I don't know who got 1, but the lowest score was 1. It's okay. All right. Next time you improve it. It's okay. You have just tried. And shading your answer. See, option A, B, C, D. If you are shading B, go for B full. If you do half, you'll get 0. Okay, you'll get 0 like this. You have to go for both. See, it is like this. So that shows that is your real answer. I have discussed about what has happened under the 9-bone agreement, right? We walk out. So what happened is that we have declared the war. So the suffering was too much. During those time, a group of people and well-wishers has formed Naka People's Convention in Kohima under the dynamic leadership of Dr. Impong Libao. Alright. They want to end the bloodshed. They want to settle the issue. Because it's an undeclared war. The NSC will never surrender. And the Indian government will never give up. They will try its best to molestate. Yes, they will use its force, the mighty forces, to capture the Naga Hills. So what has happened is that the NBC, the Naga People's Convention, has 3 meetings. The first meeting, the second meeting, the third meeting. Okay, the first meeting was held in Kohima. The second in Mogokchong, in a place called the Oma, the largest village among the Ao Naga tribe, and the second largest village in Nagaland, and the third was in the Mogokchong town. The Mogokchong town. Alright. 22nd to 26th May 1957. The first meeting, and here comes 21st to 23rd May 1958. And the last will be the 22nd to 26th October 1959, which was held at Mogokchong town. Okay, so we have just 3 NBC meetings, the Naga People Convention. 3 meetings, we will see what was the outcome of these meetings. Okay, we have 3 Naga People Convention. The first was held in Kohima, 1957. The second was in the Oma, and third was in the Mogokchong town. Both the second and the third were in Mogokchong, but the place is different, too important. The second was in a place called the Oma. It's in the village, the largest village among the Nagas. Among the Aos. And second largest village here, Nagaland. First largest village, you have to search that. Okay, in Kohima. It is in Kohima. So search the first largest village. And lastly, the third Naga People Convention was held at Mogokchong town. Okay, Mogokchong town. In the Mogokchong town. And the year is different, 1959, which is considered the most important convention. So we will start with the first Naga People Convention. What has happened in the first Naga People Convention? We will see it. is like this. So far, we have a Naga Hills district, right? So far, we have a Naga Hills district. And we have a Tuinsang further division. It was decided that both of them will merge together. The Naga Hills district and Tuinsang further division will merge together, and we will take a name known as Naga Hills Tuinsang area. NHTA, Naga Hills Tuinsang area. Naga Hills Tuinsang area. So on 1st December 1957, the Naga Hills Tuinsang area was formed by merging the Naga Hills district and Tuinsang further division. Okay, important. Naga Hills district and Tuinsang further division merged together and formed the Naga Hills Tuinsang area on 1st December 1957. On 1st December 1957, Naga Hills Tuinsang area was formed by merging the Naga Hills district and Tuinsang further division. So in basic and asked this way, how the Naga Hills Tuinsang area was formed on 1st December 1957 by merging Naga Hills district and Tuinsang further division. And in BC and asked, what is the old name of Nagaland? So the old name of Nagaland is Naga Hills Tuinsang area, NHTA. Okay, Naga Hills Tuinsang area. That is the old name of Nagaland. To be born. Okay, that is the old name of Nagaland. So that is how the present day Nagaland was. That is how the Naga Hills Tuinsang area was formed by merging the Naga Hills district and Tuinsang further division. Okay, so that is the one thing which was taken out in the first Naga People Convention. The first outcome was this one. We will merge these two and we will take a name, Naga Hills Tuinsang area. This was the merger, this was the outcome of the first Naga People's Convention. Second, it is over. Second Naga People Convention, not that important, okay. But the most important will be the third Naga People Convention. The third Naga People Convention, which was held in Bogokseong Town. And all these three were held under the leadership of Dr. Impong Libao. Okay, the third Naga People Convention, 1959. The third Naga People Convention held in the year 1959 under the leadership of Dr. Impong Libao. Dr. Impong Libao. The third Naga People Convention was held in 1959 under the leadership of Dr. Impong Libao. So what was the outcome? The 16-point agreement. The 16-point agreement was drafted. The 16-point agreement was drafted. Nagaland to be under the Ministry of External Affairs. External Affairs. And an interim body should be formed to look after the Nagas. An interim body should be formed. So this was the agreement. The 16-point agreement was drafted. Nagaland to be under the Ministry of External Affairs, and an interim body was formed. Okay, an interim body was formed. So that is the only thing. 16-point agreement was drafted. Nagaland to be under the Ministry of External Affairs, an interim body was to be formed. So this was all the outcome of the third Naga People Convention, which was held in Bogokseong Town. The third Naga People Convention, the most important point. The 16-point agreement was drafted. Nagaland to be under the Ministry of External Affairs, an interim body would be formed. Okay, an interim body was to be formed under the 16-point agreement. So this is the outcome. Okay, this is the outcome. So this is the thing you should remember. From the MBC point of view. So 16-point agreement is nothing but creation of a state within the Indian Union. Okay, 16-point agreement is nothing but creation of a state within the Indian Union. So far, the Naga People Convention said that as of now, a country is not possible, right? Situation is too bad. So for timing, let's form a state. And finally, the 16-point agreement was signed in the year 1960 in New Delhi. Alright. Government of India was represented by Jawaharlal Nehru and the Dr. Bonibao, the NPC, right? The Naga People Convention was represented by Dr. Bonibao. So NPC can ask this way: when was the 16-point agreement signed? The 16-point agreement was signed in the year 1960 in New Delhi. Alright. And the the Naga People Convention was led by Dr. Bonibao. And the government of India was represented by Jawaharlal Nehru. And Jawaharlal Nehru happily accepted it. Right? Jawaharlal Nehru happily accepted the offer. Okay, we will give you a state. We will give you a state. Possible. So 16-point agreement is known as the creation of a Nagaland state. Whether you and I like it or not, Nagaland, we are living under the state of Nagaland under the 16-point. So many will say, I am an Indian, not by birth but by circumstances. Those people also, he's a Myanmar, but not by birth. He never wants to be a Myanmarese, but now he's forced to be a Myanmarese. He's a Naga, but he's a Myanmarese. So actually we're all one people. Okay, without knowing the history, we'll say, who are you? Right? If you go there, some people may say, who are you? But whether you might be in Manipur, you might be in Assam or Arunachal Pradesh, we're all Nagas. Actually, it was the British who have divided, secondly by the Indians, and now by ourselves. Right? Now, today we are divided by ourselves. You are under me, I am Ao, you are Sima, right? Who has done this? By ourselves. So actually we are all one people. So now we will see what is inside the 16-point agreement. Okay, let's see what is inside another 16-point agreement. So 9-point agreement, 16-point agreement, these are the 100% sure question. Okay, wherever you go in BC and SSP, they will ask this first. So let's see 16-point agreement, the features of the 16-point agreement, the 16-point agreement. The name Naga Hills Tuisang area will change its name into the so-called Nagaland. The beautiful name, Nagaland. The so-called Naga Hills Tuisang area will change its name and will take the name Nagaland. And for time being, Nagaland will be under the Ministry of External Affairs. Since they also know that we are very much different, so Nagaland will be under the Ministry of External Affairs. And one more point. Why the creation of Nagaland is very unique? Because it was created through political negotiation. Too important. Many Indian states are created through on the basis of land, culture, religions, language, but Nagaland, the state Nagaland was created through political negotiation agreement with the government of India. That is why it is known as unique. The creation of Nagaland is unique. Why? Because it was created through political negotiation, through political agreement. Okay, it was created through political agreement because of that. In the name is so far called as the Nagaland. And Nagaland will be under the Ministry of External Affairs. And Nagaland shall consist of 60 MLA. Directly elected by the people. 1 MP for the Lok Sabha, 1 MP for the Rajya Sabha. Nagaland shall consist of 60 MLA directly elected by the people every 5 years. Universal adult franchise every 5 years. And we will send one representation to the Lok Sabha, one representation to the Rajya Sabha. One to the Lok Sabha, one to the Rajya Sabha. So we have Mr. Subongman in the Lok Sabha, we have Pangdam Gongyak in the Rajya Sabha as of now. And we have 60 elected MLA in Nagaland as of now. So this is the thing which is going to be here in the state of Nagaland. And there should be a governor. There should be a governor who is the head of the state in Nagaland, right? The governor is the head of the state, and his administrative secretary will be headed by the chief secretary, and his quarter will be in Nagaland. There shall be a governor in the state of Nagaland who will be the head of the state, and his administrative secretary will be headed by the chief secretary. His administrative secretary will be headed by the chief secretary. So Nagaland shall consist of the governor, who is the head of the state, and his administrative secretary will be the chief secretary, and his office will be in Nagaland. His headquarters office, right? You see the governor, Raj Bhagan. Yes or no? Raj Bhagan today. And there should be a council of ministers headed by the CM to advise the governor. Do important. There should be a council of ministers headed by the chief minister to advise the governor in day-to-day administration. There should be a council of ministers headed by the CM to advise the governor in day-to-day administration. So these are the only things you should remember. These are the 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 things you should remember from the NBC point of view. And remember, now I discussed something about the Tuinsang, right? For Tuinsang Naga. Tuinsang means the Eastern Nagas. We all know, under the 16-point agreement, we have created a state. But remember, these are two backward areas, so they cannot vote. For the Tuinsang people, it is a backward area, so they cannot vote. So it is the regional council which will nominate members from the Tuinsang people and will nominate in the Nagaland Legislative Assembly. 20 seats, okay, 20 MLA, too important. The Tuinsang people has never voted till 1974. Please write it down, okay. Under the 16-point agreement, among the 60 MLA, 20 will be reserved for the Tuinsang Nagas. And how the election is going to be held in Tuinsang, it is not direct for Tuinsang people. The regional council, a regional council was formed under the 16-point agreement for the Tuinsang Nagas. Please write down. What is this regional council? Regional council is just like your huhus. Okay, you have a Sugi huhu, right? You have ENBO, just like an ENBO. Yes, the ENBO will nominate 20 members from the Tuinsang area, Eastern Nagas, and will send to the Nagaland Legislative Assembly. That's all under the 16-point agreement. Under the 16-point agreement, a regional council was formed. Too important. So what is the duty of this regional council? The regional council will nominate members to the Nagaland Legislative Assembly, 20 MLAs. That is the duty of the regional council. And remember, Deputy Commissioner of the Tuinsang District will be the ex-official chairman. The Deputy Commissioner of the Tuinsang District will be the ex-official chairman. The Deputy Commissioner of the Tuinsang District will be the ex-official chairman. Okay. The Deputy Commissioner will be the ex-official chairman of the Regional Council. The Deputy Commissioner of the Tuinsang District will be the ex-official chairman of the Regional Council. And 20 MLAs will be elected, nominated by these people every 5 years and sent to the Nagaland Legislative Assembly. And remember, Naga Regiment. We all know Nagas are very famous in the field of defense, right? We want to join the army. So for those people who wants to join the army, a separate Naga Regiment will be set up for the Nagas in Japan. For under the 16 point agreement. A separate Naga Regiment to join the army. You can join the army here. Okay. Under the 16 point agreement, a separate Naga Regiment was formed for the state of Nagaland. For the state of Nagaland. Naga Regiment. Under the 16 point agreement, there should be a local self-government. Okay. Under the 16 point agreement, there should be a local self-government. So what is this local self-government? Village council, range council, tribal council. You can set up in your own, among your own tribe in your own district. Absolute power. Under the 16 point agreement, you can have a village council, a range council, tribal council to look after your own tribe. Okay, so this thing reform. You have your own range council, tribal council, and village council. Absolute freedom under the 16 point agreement. This will look after your needs. These are very essential for the benefit of the people in general. Local self-government, just like the Panchayati Raj system in India, right? If you go to other part, you will see municipal council in Kohima and all. So you can have all of those. It is like this. Under the 16 point agreement, customary court come Indian court. Under the 16 point agreement, the Nagas can have a customary court come Indian court. That means Kamburas, Dubashis, village council, this court is there, known as the customary court, right? Dubashi court is there in the district. In the subdivision, you will find the village court. Yes. After that, you will also find the Indian court. What are the Indian court? District court, high court. When I say Indian court, I am discussing about the district court in India, high court. So it was given the freedom. You can have two courts possible. Indian customary court come Indian court. In any case, you can appeal anywhere. You want to appeal the Indian court, come to the district court, which is very expensive. So people go to the customary court. The Dubashi court or the village council, right? The easiest way is you go to the village council. You go to the village council. That is less expensive. But most of the people, the rich men will approach the Indian court. Which is the district court and the high court, right? Civil and criminal cases. Any cases. What are the civil cases which I have discussed? Land issue, property issue, family issue, marriage divorce. But when I say criminal, it's a murder case, rape case and all. Okay. So all these cases can be settled by the customary court. Very much possible. Under the 16 point agreement, the customary court can settle all these cases. But if you are not satisfied, you can come to the Indian court. District court come, high court. But unfortunately, we don't have a high court, right? Nagaland is still waiting to have a high court. The Chief Minister Rio says we don't have money. But actually, I think the government of India has already sanctioned 2 times $1 billion. Okay, billion, 100 crore. But what has happened? No high court. So almost no more in over situation. So this is the condition you're going to serve. This is the condition you're going to serve. So as of now, we will settle in the customary court. Okay. So possible, very much possible for you. You can do that. So these are the things you will get across when you're serving the state. When you're in ESC and ESP. So all this issue comes to you, everyone. So these are the process. So see, why the ESC? An ESC office every time it issues the Tobashi. Right? An ESC office every time it issues the Tobashis. An ESC offices every time it issues the Tobashis. Because under the 16-point agreement, the customary, under the 16-point agreement, the customary law has also been given the supreme power. So you are Indian, you are in charge of all the districts. See, ESC is in charge of the circle. ESC is in charge of one circle, and one circle is made up of 7 to 8 villages. 7 to 8 villages will make one circle. So here you are the head boss, you are the supreme, but here again we have a customary law. So now every time you are English, you will take the help of this person, or else you will not be able to implement the laws. Okay, so you should respect one another. Every time on ESC you are very young, you correct at the age of 25. Just after 1 year training, you are going to look after this 6-8 village. Yes, so which is very important from the MBC point of view. So this is the reason. This is the thing we have discussed today. So another one more thing. Article 3 and 4 has been discussed. Article 3 and 4 has been discussed, which refer to the transfer of land. Okay, the transfer of land. Article 3-4, under the 16-point agreement, the Naga delegates also discuss about the transfer of land. Yes, we all know we have land in Manipur, Arunachal Pradesh, Sepsakor in Nagong, in Assam. All this land should be brought back under one administrative unit, and the name will be known as Nagaland. But unfortunately, now both the government of India and those people who have signed it, they are not very much sensitive. So still now, why we have problem in Assam? Because of this reason. It's a Naga inhabited area. Yes or no? It's a Naga inhabited areas. But unfortunately, this land has not been brought back. So same problem we are facing now. Okay, those Nagas, what are the problem? In Assam, no education, yes. No development, no security. The Assam government will never know these people. But the land they will never give. Right? The land they will never give. So this is a very serious issue which is faced by all these people in general. So this issue has to be solved. This issue has to be solved. And it is only through continuous discussion with the government of India as well as with the Assam, Arunachal, Manipur or any other. Only through talks, negotiation, we can solve this issue. Yes, by force, we cannot solve all this. So this is the political problem which we are facing today. So whether we like it or not, on 1st December 1963, Nagaland became the 16th state of the Indian Union, and Nagaland will be under the Article 371A. Article 371A will give special protection to the Nagaland under the 16-point agreement. Nagaland was given the absolute protection under Article 3.1A of the Indian Constitution under the 16-point agreement. So this article you can memorize. Article 371A deals with the state of Nagaland, give the special protections. So on 1st December 1963, Nagaland became the 16th state of the Indian Union. So this is how Nagaland was created. And it was inaugurated by Dr. Sarvepalli Radhakrishnan. On 1st December 1963, in the Kohima Law Ground, it was Dr. Sarvepalli Radhakrishnan. Sarvepalli Radhakrishnan. It was Dr. Sarvepalli Radhakrishnan who inaugurated Nagaland as the 16th state of Indian Union. Dr. Sarvepalli Radhakrishnan is the first vice president, second president, and the longest serving vice president of India. Okay, we celebrate Teachers' Day, right? Teachers' Day. Teachers' Day is celebrated in the name of Dr. Sarvepalli Radhakrishnan. Teachers' Day. That's all. That's what we have got. Okay, that is what we have. Under the 16 point, Article 371A. Okay, 371A. Please remember all this. And last but most, same thing like the 9-point agreement. Inner line permit, which is the Bengal Eastern Frontier Regulation, will have remained in force at Nagaland, the so-called Nagaland. Inner line permit 1873 will have in force in the state of Nagaland. See, one more thing. One more change they have made is inner line permit is not issued. Inner line permit is not issued in Dimapur. Every district except Dimapur. But now, recently, every district covers under inner line permit. Salpet district comes under inner line permit. Doing both. Before there was one district which never comes under. It was Dimapur. But now Dimapur is also coming under inner line permit. So this is the thing you have to remember from the NBC point of view. And one more thing. We all know. See, Parliament will pass so many laws. All right, we all know Parliament is there to make laws, right? But that law will never have enforced in Nagaland without the agreement of the Nagaland Legislative Assembly. This was a very important protection which was given under the 16-point agreement. Even though a law is passed in India, no, for Nagaland it will never have enforced because we have a special protection under Article 371A. Special protection. No law was by the Parliament. If it's a good one, bad one, not possible in Nagaland. Without the agreement of the Nagaland Legislative Assembly. 60 MLA should say yes. Nagaland Legislative Assembly. So this is the 16-point agreement. 16-point agreement. But the worst thing is that all these people who have brought the statehood were assassinated, were killed by the NNC, the federal government of Nagaland. Now I'm going to discuss a short topic and we'll end up today. Okay, we'll discuss a very short topic here. Under the 16-point agreement, an interim body was also formed. Okay, the interim body. 18 Feb 1961 it was formed, and on 13 November 1963 it was dissolved. This interim body consists of 42 members. Okay, 15 from Kohima, 14 from Mokokchung, and 13 from current-day Yunsan. Under the 16-point agreement, an interim body was formed. What is this interim body? Remember, before the real actions, before that, something is going to happen. Take the example. Nagaland will have election next year, 2026. But in 2025, who will look after the Nagas? There should be someone to look after the Nagas, right? To make laws, to bring change in development. For that reason, for Timur period, an interim body is set up. Just like India got independent in the year 1947, but an interim body was formed to look after the Indians. Like that, Nagaland is going to be created, but only in the year 1960. So those in the year, 1964, the first general election in Nagaland was held in the year 1964 after we got statehood. So during these days, transitional period, who will look after the Nagas? The interim body. It is the interim body who will look after the Nagas. So on 18th Feb 1961, the interim body was formed and it was dissolved on 13th November 1963. And it consists of 42 members, 15 from Kohima, 14 from Mokokchung, 13 from Yunsan. And the man who brought the statehood, Dr. Ngoli Gao. Dr. Bonibao was the first chairman of the interim body. Okay, this right now. Dr. Bonibao was the first chairman of the interim body. Dr. Bonibao was the first chairman of the interim body. Dr. Bonibao was the first chairman of the interim body. So that's all. That's all. Dr. Bonibao was the first chairman of the interim body, and it was dissolved on 1963. And this is the interim body. It's going to be asked. Okay, it consists of 42 members. See. The only difference is NSC has held the plebiscite, right? NSC has held the plebiscite, whereas the Naga People Convention has accepted Nagaland. So now, obviously, the NSC will oppose the Naga People Convention. So all those people who signed the 60-point agreement were killed. Dr. Bonibao was the first man to be assassinated at Mabuchungdao. Unfortunately, all these people were considered as Naga People Convention were considered as traitors, often as NBC, who were considered as traitors. The Naga People Convention. Traitor means a person who betrays his country, right? Traitor means a person who betrays his country. So, see, because of the plebiscite, what has happened? All those people, the state of Nagaland was never accepted happily. No. Nagas never accepted the creation of the state happily, but it was by force. Because of the circumstances. Yes, because of the circumstances. Piso, we all know the father of the nation. Piso is fighting for independence under his leadership. And the real case of the people was the ANC, not the Naga People Convention. The real case of all the Nagas in general. These days, see, in Nagaland, we might be happy. Some district, just like you and me, we are African NBC exam in SSB, we're happy, but not all the Nagas. Yes, this NSSB and NBC exam is for only the Samhain tribe, Samhain district. But see the all Nagas, it is just like a betrayal, right? The plebiscite has been held. Everyone, NSC is for everyone, not for this Samhain tribe. Okay, so that was united, clean, we were honest, but unfortunately, Dr. Bonibao under his leadership have signed the 16-point agreement. But that is all because of circumstances. They are also not bad people. NPCs are also not bad people. Okay, the Naga People Convention are also not bad people. But because of the circumstances, see, we cannot have a normal life. House were burned down, yes, under force. So they also want to bring a solution end to this problem. But unfortunately, our goal was different. I want a district, you want a state, he wants the country, he wants the state. So as of now, the Naga People Convention has gone for a state for time being. So which was never the desire of the Nagas in general. But whether we like it or not, we are living under the state of Nagaland. So you should support 16-point agreement from the NPC point of view. From the NPC point of view, for examination point of view, you should support 16-point agreement. Because you're going for NPC exam. Yes, you are going to serve the state of Nagaland very soon now. You are going to be a part of the government of Nagaland. So please support the 16-point agreement from the NPC point of view. That's the thing. Okay, and that is the conditions where you're going to serve in Nagaland now. So now, I will discuss about the NNC, the first international ceasefire. Okay, after we will stop. Just 5 minutes I will take. Say, it is like this. The first international ceasefire was signed between the government of India and the federal government of Nagaland. Okay, NNC has formed the FGN, right? So it is like this. They also know. They also knows that the NBC does not represent the people in general. So the government of India also knows that we should do something with these people. So the first international ceasefire was signed between the government of India and the federal government of Nagaland on May 24, 1964 in a place called Shakraba. Shakraba is a very important place in the Peak District. Shakraba is a village in the Peak District of Nagaland. So the first international ceasefire was signed on 24 May 1964. But it came to force only on 6 September 1964. That's the reason we celebrate 6 September as the International Day of Ceasefire. Very important. On 6 September 1964, we celebrate International Day for Ceasefire. International Day of Ceasefire. So this can be asked, okay? NBC will ask only, why do we celebrate? So 6 September 1964. And now let's see who represents the government of India. This is not the first international ceasefire. The ceasefire was signed on this day in this village, but it came into force only on 6 September 1964. So we celebrate 6 September 1964 as the first international day of ceasefire. And the first international ceasefire came to an end on 1972. The first international ceasefire ended on 31st August 1972. The first international ceasefire ended on 31st August 1972. 31st August 1972. The first international ceasefire. The government of India was represented by Vishnu Shah. The government of India was represented by Vishnu Shah, who was the first governor of Nagaland. In the first international ceasefire, the government of India was represented by Shri Vishnu Shah. The government of India was represented by Vishnu Shah, the then governor of Nagaland during those days, okay, 1964. And on the ground, the federal government of Nagaland was represented by Vishnutomita, Ilazinidu, and Zashi Hori. These are the Naga ground which signed the first international ceasefire. Vishnutomita, Ilazinidu, and Zashi Hori. Okay, H-U-I-R. Vishnu Shah. So this can be asked from APC point of view. Alright. And officially, the ceasefire ended on 21st August 1972 because of the deadlock of the peace talk. Okay, deadlock of the peace talk. And now, one more question you can expect is, who has played a very important role in bringing both the government of India and the federal government of Nagaland to the ceasefire? Why was the first international ceasefire signed? Because of three important contributions, three important persons. Three important persons played a very important role. B.B. Chandiha, the then Chief Minister of Assam, Michael Scott, Reverend Michael Scott, an American missionary, and third will be the Jai Prakash Narayanan. And he was a non-violent Gandhian. Okay, who believe in non-violent? He was a Gandhian. He was like Mahatma Gandhi, a Gandhian and non-violent workers. Jai Prakash Narayanan, Reverend Michael Scott, and B.B. Chandiha, the Chief Minister of Assam. These three persons played a very important role in signing the first international ceasefire. These three pursued the ground as well as government of India. So these are the persons who is of us. Michael Scott is a reverend from America. B.B. Chandiha, Chief Minister of Assam, and Jai Prakash Narayanan is a Gandhian, right? Who believes so? No? So these three are men who has played a very important role in signing the first international ceasefire. Ceasefire. The Shillong Accord. Okay. The last point for today will be the Shillong Accord, which was signed on 11 November 1975. LP Singh, and the Shillong Accord. Okay, so right now, the infamous Shillong Accord, the most controversial agreement in the history of the Naga Freedom Circle is going to be the Shillong Accord. So, next one. Mr. Item Chen, Mr. V. Rako, Kibiyale, Mr. Azza, S. Taro. Okay, these are the Nagas. These are the men who signed the Shillong Accord. Okay, the Shillong Accord, the infamous Shillong Accord, was signed in the year 1975, on 11 November 1975, which was signed between the government of India and the NNC, the Naga National Council again. The Naga National Council again in Shillong. Shillong, the capital city of Meghalaya, on 11 November 1975, it was signed. For what reason? Why was this agreement signed? Which is considered the worst controversial agreement in the history of the Naga Freedom Circle. For the first time, the NNC, which was fighting for independence, till 1975, decided that we will surrender and accept the Indian Constitution. Just one thing, surrender and accept the Indian Constitutions. So it was considered the worst betrayal, the worst controversial agreement. Because of this, the bloodshed is come. Till now, we are Nagas, we are one people. We are fighting for independence together. 100%, okay? Truthful person. But what is happening? Mr. L.P. Singh represented the government of India. L.P. Singh is the lowest governor of Nagaland. Okay, L.P. Singh is the lowest governor of Nagaland. He represented the government of India, and the Naga National Council was led by Kibiyale. And Kibiyale is the younger brother of Mr. A.Z. Piso. Okay, Mr. Kibiyale made the movement, signed the agreement, and along with all these persons you memorize, Mr. Ivan Zed Rangu, Mr. Virako, Mr. Azza. These are the men who signed on behalf of the NNC. There will be a question. Mr. A.Z. Piso signed the Shillong Accord? No, he never signed. He was at London. There was one more question. Where was Piso? he was in London. He never signed it. But he was very silent on it. Okay, that was the worst thing in the history of the Naga Freedom Ceremony. He was silent on it. Piso never condemn or accept the Shalom Accord. That's the reason the controversy is going to come out. He's murdered side, right? Till now, he's a 100% freedom fighter. We all know. As if he's the father of the nation. We all know that. But what has happened in the year 1975, we never know. His brother has signed. So because of that reason, now they're going to fight against each other. Yes, because this is never going to be accepted by all the Nagas. The Nagas will never accept this. So what is going to happen? So what is going to happen now? What is going to happen now? These people will 31st January 1980. On 31st January 18, NSCN was formed by those people who rejected the Shalom Accord of 1975. Okay, those people who rejected the Shalom Accord has formed the National Socialist Council of Nagaland on the 31st January 1980. And it was Mr. Isaac Chisi. It was Isaac Chisisu and Mr. Moibe, along with Mr. S.S. Gablam. S.S. Gablam. Mr. Isaac Chisisu, Mr. Moiba, Mr. S.S. Gablam. These are the three Nagas who formed the NSCN on 31st January 1980. We will still fight for independence, total independence. Okay, Shalom Accord was a settle, was a most controversial agreement. In the agreement, right? It's a bloodshed agreement, it's a most controversial agreement. Because that is the agreement base. It was just like, whatever say, so many things has been said, right? But from a BC point of view, just remember, as Piso never signed the agreement, he was in London, he was very silent on it. He never accepted or rejected the Shalom Accord. He was very silent. That portion is also too important. Piso was very silent on it. So whatever knows, who never knows, right? Those days, we don't have any phones. So what is happened? We cannot say. So those people who accepted the Shalom Accord has surrendered, they got a government job. Okay? And if you are an officer in the army, you have got a government job in the police department, right? Or in the CRPF, no? But no, not for this people. Not for this. Those people who oppose it still are fighting for independence. Okay, so NSCN is still for a new country. The NSCN is still for a new country. So, see, now you find so many groups, right? The name, under the name of NSCN, you find so many names, but that is just for personal benefit. Okay, just for personal reason. That is never going to be asked. But they will ask NSCN. Where was it from? On 31st January 1980, those people who opposed the Shalom Accord is from this, and they are for a new country. Full country. Well, that's the reason. So, dear NSCN, remember. Okay, dear NSCN, they are going to ask. So, this is the reason you remember. We will stop here for today. Right. Tomorrow I will discuss about the mountain system, the mountain systems of Nagaland, the forest systems of Nagaland, and Nagaland map. Then I will discuss this Nagaland issue. Okay. So very important again from tomorrow. So this video in the right time. You go home and see whatever has been done. Yes, you have the notes with you, the question paper, mock test, everything you just analyze once. That is how you can practice exam. So best of luck class. We'll see you tomorrow.